Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to answer another career related question from one of my subscribers. So the question is, I have some 3.6 years of experience, but from last August due to my health issue, I took break. But now that I am fine, I am looking for job, but HR and hiring manager don't want gap. I'm not getting if someone is having health issue, why they are not understanding. So I totally understand your pain, whoever has asked this particular question. I totally get it that yes, due to health issue, things are not in anyone's control and you might have to go ahead and take break, and it could be, 6 months, year. So health is the first priority, family is the first priority, and people do understand it. I'm not saying that HR and hiring manager don't understand. Maybe there are some people in HR and hiring manager who are so harsh and do not have any sort of sympathy or empathy with people. There are exceptions everywhere, be it any HR or IT or development, but most of the people you'll find that they will be supportive if they are in HR and hiring department. Now, why you might be having that feel, I'll come and explain you, right? So you have good amount of experience, and last August till this current year, it's even less than a year, right? So it's not such a big sort of break wherein you cannot go ahead and justify it. Now, how you are going to justify it is something that I'll explain you, and everyone who is watching this particular video, you will be finding this information, and if you go ahead and put this information into your resume, into your attitude, the way you present yourself, I'm sure that you will be heard. Exceptions are there. There will be people who will always say, no, we don't want gap, but they are not. I mean, you don't need to even go ahead and work with those sort of people, right? They'll always create problem for you. So staying away with such kind of people is also my advice. Okay, so if somebody is not listening to you, that a valid reason, stay away from those companies and those hiring manager and those HR. They are not the right set of people wherein you should go ahead and work. Now the solution to this, to the gap, your health issue, right? So whenever, say for example, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have created videos of 8-year gap. So it's kind of common situation might be different, and solution to the number of year of gap will be different. Now in this particular case, you had the health issue, right? Absolutely valid point. Now you are fine. So instead of going ahead with your resume with just last working date as the last year, now because you are fine, you start your own personal project of learning, your automation, right? And then in your resume, you just mention that personal project, whatever you are doing currently. Now you are good. Now you have started your own personal project. Have that learning as a starting point in your resume, that this is something you are doing now along with the job search that you are doing. And what you can mention in your resume is basically, say for example, I am learning from this particular date, since I got well, from this particular date to whatever the current date is. So basically to current date, you just mention the learning projects that you are doing. For example, I am working on Playwright, TypeScript, Playwright, JavaScript automation on this public website. This is my learning. This is my code. I have created a framework, which is a hybrid framework, and you go ahead and learn it, right? I mean, you start learning it. So whatever you learn, you start mentioning as your current work, rather than just saying, I just worked till last year and currently I'm doing nothing, right? So that gap, you have to justify, you have to just mention something that proactively you are taking initiatives and you are doing something to fulfill that gap. So in that current situation, whatever situation you are in at now, you are learning something and mention that, so that you can go ahead and explain your latest technology learning, which currently companies and projects need. Now, when you go ahead and mention 10-year gap in your resume, so what impression hiring manager and HRs have is that this person has been there in the industry, 1 year ago, 2 year ago, or 8 year ago, right? In your case, it's just, very fresh. So you are not out of the technology. You are absolutely current in the industry. It's just with the health issue, couple of months of break. So you can justify this very clearly and very easily. Even the person with 8-10 years experience can justify it, right? It's the approach is same. So you just mention your current learning. So whenever somebody looks at your resume, they ask you what exactly is your current project, and then you start explaining your learning, your journey, that this is something you are doing and this is your GitHub account where all of your code is for this particular framework, and this framework is capable of doing this. In UI automation, you can do data driven testing, you can do this. Along with that, learn some API testing, right? Doesn't matter you know the automation of the API test cases or not, but at least from the manual testing perspective, you know the API technology, you know how APIs work, how you test them manually. So have that. Similarly, some of the CI/CD concepts. So have that learning as your current project. Okay. Whatever you're doing, say for example, randomly you just pick one website, eBay or Amazon. Just think about some of the test cases that you can automate in these websites and have it as your current project. Put it in your resume and then go ahead and circulate that resume, right? Do not wait until you learn the full-fledged automation framework. The moment you start learning in a couple of weeks or just 1 week, whatever you have learned, you just put that and start circulating your resume, because shortlisting and getting your resume picked up will take time, right? So as and when you go ahead and keep learning, building your skill, you keep updating your resume and circulating then the most updated one based on your learning. So this will help you to basically avoid that gap issue in your resume. Learning is only the key, and how you present yourself. The first thing is you have to stop thinking in your brain that gap is a problem. Gap is never a problem. The only problem is the way you present, right? If you present your gap as a gap, then it's a problem, because you know it's a problem within your mind, and then other person also senses that yes, this is actual gap because you haven't done anything in this duration. Companies and hiring managers, projects only want people who can deliver work. And if you have the skill set and you can deliver work, they are going to hire you for sure. So build your technical skills while you have gap. Now you are healthy and fine. Go ahead and learn and implement the way I have told you the project in your resume. Don't show it as a gap. In your current project or current work that you are doing, mention it as learning or some project that you pick, building an automation framework in Playwright, TypeScript or JavaScript, and then mention that this is the public website, this is your own learning that you are doing to be competitive in the market and add value to the organization that you will be in, right? So other thing I would advise is go through some of the job descriptions currently that are there in the market, and you will see what tools are high in demand. I am pretty sure Playwright, API testing, all of this is high in demand. So, but still based on your location, see what in software testing, what skill set is highest in demand, pick those and learn those, build projects around those, and I'm pretty sure you will be able to crack the interview. It doesn't matter you have gap, you will be fine and you will be back into the industry and you will do really good if you keep learning and learn, right? So that's all. I hope that you implement all these things that I have suggested and start learning and keep learning, and I wish you good luck that you are able to find the work that you want pretty soon. Thank you. See you in the next one.